than I am. Right, SK Gaming on Mirage, kicking things off on the CT side. Optic in Europe. It's going to be an interesting challenge for them to try to deal with the ping issues they may be encountering here today. Well, Fallen going to be off to a good start. Able to get one headshot. Teammates quickly on the way. However, Optic will clear out the site. The bum rush of Glocks has done its job, James.
Yeah, but it hasn't finished off the round. Taco fighting back, as is Cold Zero, landing some headshots. Alu trying to hold down CT, but not sure if one of them is there. And they're both coming in from this jungle position. Taco delivering another kill, and in fact they'll get one more each. So the retake with Taco and Cold Zero is real. And it will be SK getting off to a flying start with the pistol round.
Where's your hot drink, James? Okay, James is off. He's getting a hot drink to relieve his asthma. Open up that throat. I'll just leave that there. SK Gaming, obviously with a great start for the economy. Going to see a couple MP9s in action. I think it's always a fair thing to say that it's a fun time whenever Fur is carrying an MP9. I think he is probably the player that does it best. As James is not seated down at the moment, I must inform you guys, as James normally would, that the MP9 has a surprisingly accurate jumping spread to the spray, or jumping accuracy. And so far we are just seeing pretty much just a demolishment of Optic Gaming here. I mean, they were playing with the Deagles. Their objective in this round with these Deagles is just to spread out, get picks. They came up with only one, so largely ineffectual. Not too much to go into depth in that round, but however, we now have the AKs in the hands of Optic Gaming. Having gotten that bomb plant, on that first round, you get the super fast AKs on round 3 for them. The issue, though, is that because they bought Deagles in the previous round, they don't have utility. So they have to play for the contact. They've got to play for the shots. Mixwell darting up the stairs, able to pick up one. Where is the trade, though? We've got Fur coming in for reinforcements here by the stairs. Great angle there for Phelps on the bomb site. Able to actually get the bomb down here, so SK buying so much time. Cold Zero in from the back with the MP9, and that's going to be just Ali left on 2 HP. He's been blown to smithereens. I like that word, smithereens, it's a good word. It is a fantastic word. We just came back from E-League, the E-League playoffs, James and I. Got in a flight today, so neither of us had all that much sleep. And it's really interesting because I'm getting pumped. This is waking me up. This is good. This is what I need. So AWP onto Fallen. And he's going to be in prime position to pick up the kills. That's a whiff, though. That's unfortunate. Oh! All right. That will do. That's a good way to make up for that initial whiff. A double collateral. Love to see that one. All of Optic stuck at top mid, having to work these Deagles. But the Deagles aren't really giving them all that much just yet. Single kill onto Phelps, similar to the previous time when they pulled out the Deagles. And here it is. The double. In Italian, the word for double is doppio. In case, any of you guys wanted to know that. If you're ordering a double espresso, espresso doppio, there you go.
Isn't it like doppio?
Sorry?
Isn't it like doppio?
Doppio. I don't know. Doppio. I'm not sure.
Oh, this is terrible advice. In Italian, it's this. But is it this? Oh,
what pronunciation? Come on. I give you the word. That's all you need.
Charging up the stairs. Phelps going to take it down first, but he will trade. You see the push. I mean, we've seen a similar execute to that from NIP recently. Didn't work out quite well, though. How about that front off angle? 2-man spray down with the MP9. SK making money in this round. 3 versus 2, though. It's retrievable for Optic, but first they must retrieve the bomb.
Yeah, it's pretty just sitting there by itself. Lots of time left in the rounds. Pretty fast round overall at this point. Optic going with a really fast pace. Perhaps due to the fact that they're sort of compensating a little bit for their being playing from Europe. Magisk gonna get the plant down, and SK definitely have to be cautious in this situation with how they approach this. I mean, they've got a triple-pronged attack. Essentially, they've got a brilliant situation having Taco in the flank, and the fact that Taco will see no one in pits is going to give a lot of confidence, I think, for SK, and it'll probably, I think, allow them to know that there pretty much has to be someone in Palace if there's no one in pit here. So you can see all the nades are going to start to come in, and it's, I think, too obvious for SK where Optic are actually hiding.
Can they get the defuse though? They know where Mixwell is, and he knows that he cannot go through that smoke. 3 versus 1. It is unobtainable now this round for him. So the clean sheet continues for SK. I really like seeing slow retakes. Slow and deliberate retakes. We saw some at E-League this last week, but it was NIP who I watched them from and enjoyed them the most. Their slow retakes on Dust 2. I don't remember 100%, but presumably after the extra time on the bomb plant came in. So love to see those.
Yeah.
Something beautiful about them.
Yeah, I mean it's a situation where communication becomes really interesting and important. But the point we can go back to, we've got Optic moving here around the middle position, trying to just apply pressure and presence, and SK are just giving them the middle area for the time being. They're obviously holding on to connector with Fur, and Phelps, making sure that there's no boosting shenanigans thus far. But largely, SK don't 100% know what's going on. They haven't made the info play yet. They're beginning to do so. Cold Zero is creeping down BAPS ever so slightly. But this is a much slower pace from Optic, who previously were going very fast. Ooh, wow. 3 men peeking out of the palace. Or 2 men, rather. Fair enough.
Yeah, but that might give the game away for the T side. They need to capitalize on that frag, but one player has been taken down in mid. They still have the opportunity to split with Mixwell there. It's a nice flash. But Phelps off angle may take them by surprise. So HS will be lost. Phelps trying to reposition, not working out for him. Is this the first round for Optic?
It looks like it could be, but still, it is a 2v2. There's Taku in position, ready to start creeping through CT. Oh, Cold Zero! Long-range tapping, and all of a sudden it's just down to Mixwell. He's on the AWP, and he could get sandwiched if he's not cautious. It's going to be very, very tough. Mixwell, so patient, but will the patience yield a reward? Here it comes, Cold Zero. That's an easy one for him. Mixwell, I love the how convicted he was onto that one angle.
The conviction. The
conviction, there we go. And because too often you have a situation where a player in a clutch will not be willing to just gamble. And because as soon as you're thinking to yourself, oh god, but what about this one, this angle, and this angle, and he could come from here. All of a sudden you're not being decisive, and you need to be decisive to be strong in those clutches.
So the clean sheet is still here for SK. Can we see the scoreboard quickly, please? So I'm a Pet said we are playing with 150 plus ping. He's lying because 2 of them have 140 ping, and I will be tweeting him later on. Taco with an opening frag towards B.
Wait, how did Fur get behind him, James?
Yeah, I think that Optic are looking for an early entry. They're looking for an early advantage to try and balance out the fact that they're playing with high pings, although some people say they would prefer to play with high ping than low ping in a match, but I think that surely you would prefer to play with a high ping.
Yeah, whatever you're used to.
That would make logical sense to me, but whatever. Anyway, I think SK will be maybe expecting this and trying to counter with aggression like that, or maybe they're just playing their own game. I have a shotgun keycap for Fur, which I might actually have here in the studio. I'll check later. It's here or it's at home, but if it's here, then I'll show you guys. It's pretty cool. I think a lot of people would say, why, if you were going to give someone a shotgun keycap, surely it would be JW, but it was Fur who inspired me with his use of the auto shotgun defending A close on the ramp as a legit buy. That was his buy for a time, and I thought it was amazing.
Oh, more aggression from Optic. First gets shot straight in the back. This timing was fast, and he is very live. He's going to be pretty happy about that. Right now, SK is sort of just going, to some extent, matchmaking mode. At least Fur, just running around. He's basically doing what I would do in matchmaking, which is just run and just try to take battles wherever I can, as soon as I can, in every single round. Because that's fun when you're playing by yourself. Which is what always happens with me, James. I'm always playing by myself.
That is a great sentence, Dan.
Always playing by
My
myself.
name is Dan. I'm always playing by myself.
Yep.
I'm going to leave that one there. That's where I'm going to leave it then.
Look at the money.
Right where it was.
SK just dominating right now.
I wonder how long Optic will be in Europe for, because obviously this situation
It's suboptimal.
is suboptimal, right? It is less than ideal. But these are, yeah, if both games are to go this way, then it's 2 games of 18. So perhaps something can be salvaged. But then let's not count them out. We don't know what they could do. Fallen up close on the ramp of the AWP, and that might be abuse of ping right there.
Well, that works out for, well, I say initial entry works out, but Taco's in position with the AWP. He's still providing some presence, and that's an easy kill for Mixwell. The flames obscuring Taco for a moment, but the kill is true. However, the retake effort is coming in. You can see Fur, yeah, I just have to check that. It's actually Fur coming from the abs and Fallen with the AWP coming from short. Actually, really ideal, as Fallen will have those super long ranges to deal with. Although, Fur does go down, so no distraction for Fallen to play off of. So he's probably not liking his chances unless he gets a really fast kill here. I don't think he's going to go for it. That was the attempt, the second shot, and the third, all to whiff for Fallen. And that will amount in the first round for Optic Gaming. And SK, they don't care, James. They are stacked with cash.
Yep. Taco with 16k is losing money by winning rounds. So this may be a joyous occasion for him to have less than a maximum in the accounts.
Imagine if there was like no cap for the money. Like if it could just keep going and going and going.
That would be really bad.
That would be a bit broken.
I wonder if that was ever the case.
No,
Like
I don't think so.
a beta or something. I don't actually know when I started playing Counter-Strike. In terms of versions, I was too young to care.
1.1 for me.
So it wouldn't have been that far back for
I actually
me.
played the beta, but I played actually properly the 1.1 from 1.1.
I think it was prior to 1.5 for me.
1.3 was my favorite for the longest time.
They had bunny hopping nonsense, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I experienced that.
Then it went from 1.3 straight to 1.5, and that's when the bunny hopping got removed. And I was like, I was outraged. I stopped playing. But I was putting so much time into Quake then as well. You know, that's why I like the bunny hopping so much.
Maybe I did play that, but I just didn't. I was just too ignorant. I mean, I just used to shoot people with a scout and deagle. So. And
for frame of reference for the viewers out there, we are talking about basically the year 2000. So, yeah, 17 years ago.
So is that the same age as Robs?
He is young. I don't know.
I think he's 17 or 18.
Is he 17? I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, man.
He was born.
I was playing with my Belgian homies, and he was just like popping out of a vagina, just bouncing on out.
I mean, there were so many ways you could have put that. Because I.
What's wrong with that? It's just science and anatomy. Don't be shy.
Wait. I could have thought of a more eloquent way to phrase that. Anyway, no surprise there. You don't really care, do you? There's no tender footing around with you. Well, it's a very fast round again from Optic. Unsurprising. Straight up short for the B split. It's not going well, James.
No, and again, Optic, it seems clear to me they're trying to do what they think is the best they can, considering their pings, which is a fast play, trying to catch someone out of position, taking risks basically, and these risks aren't quite paying off. SK may be one of the more difficult teams to take a risk and have it pay off. Yes, their performances recently haven't been as stellar as we're used to, but they're still a very strong and dangerous team. Fer will hear some sound cues from Mixwell, who would assume that Fer is on the hunt, and he's right. And that will leave Magisk Boy. I say it once a month. Right, once a month. Normally I say Magic's Boy. So you can see he's just taken a position of desperation to try and do all that he can do. Has Cold Zero died yet? Or I think he's died once. Let's see, yeah, he's died once, as has Taco. Just the one time.
1-1-1-1. Well, it's 9-1. SK storming ahead. I think pretty expected, I guess. Expected and respected. So, Deagles again. It's an interesting game to commentate from this perspective because, so for example, I mean, you're getting some tea at this point at the beginning of the game. Optic got the bomb down, and they decided to just buy Deagles, like Deagle no Kevlar, in the second round. so not a force buy, not a full buy rather, but and then that means in the third round they could still get AKs, but they had like 3 grenades with the AKs, and they just basically ran into the bomb site. So it definitely does suggest that they are trying to figure out, whatever way they possibly can to adjust to the pings.
What's curious though about a match like this for Optic is that with someone like I'm a Pet behind them, who we have seen do great work with CLG, all just in deathmatch mode now. We've seen him do great work with CLG, right? Where they've had quite thought out tactics and strategy. Like if you have anything like that, this is obviously not the place to bring that out of the bag or to experiment with that. You'd want to save that for when you are technically at your best, i.e. in the country.
It definitely plays into it. That's a good starting point. Okay, well, Optic, I guess we'll just continue the pace. I would be surprised to see anything but sort of like a 16-1 at this point from SK. The problem for this situation though for Optic is just the fact that SK absolutely is a beatable team for them. Like in an online league round robin system like this, they're absolutely beatable for a map or two, and those map wins go a really long way. And if we recall, I think from day 1 or day 2, SK did actually lose to Ghost on a map. So SK need to win everything to make sure they can really assure themselves as the top 4 spot.
I don't think any team is in a position to win every match this season. So I don't know if that is the biggest concern for them at the moment, but perhaps it will play a part as we move into the latter stages of the season. Only time will tell. Optic with an opportunity to gain a second round here. Lumixor was left in a difficult position, as was HS with next to no health. So SK will clean up after all. Money still high for the Brazilian side.
I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing like auto snipers and stuff like that from SK. And to be honest, like I would like to see auto snipers generally more, just because they're really good in specific situations. Especially on Mirage, there's definitely a lot of good spots for them on the CT side. Where if you have a team that's playing execution heavy, like a lot of set pieces, the auto sniper can obviously be very good. Where the AWP is not, when there's smokes down, for example. That's the spot where it's good. Or if there's lots of people charging choke points at once, auto sniper is also generally better than an AWP. But so we'll hold that for the time being, as there are some kills here for Optic, and a nice little 1 dig there from Freiberg chiming in as well. And Optic might be able to get a second round on the board here, as SK have failed to deathmatch in this round, James.
Freiberg taken down towards short. And that's where the bomb is headed, although there are still 1 CT on either side. They're not quite sure what's going on, but now they have the information. HS delivering an AWP shot. coldzera will try to rotate, but HS is expecting him, but neither man will land a shot. I wonder how much Cold has to lose in this situation.
Yeah, I was surprised that we saw just the straight peek there from Taco, because I don't think that Optic... I don't think it was obvious whether they were going A or B from that point. So I guess either you're peeking or you're taking an off angle. I'm trying to think. In E-League we saw a similar situation. Oh god, which team was it? We were casting the game. Which game did we cast in E-League, James, together?
Did 2 games together, I think.
The last one.
The last one.
Yeah, there was a Mirage. It was best of 3. It was. Oh, it was. Was it North and yeah? It was North versus FaZe.
Yes.
Right, and I think it was Valde who was hiding in the... So it's like a similar situation. Instead of like peeking at all, Valde just took like a position in the corner of the site, because the time was an issue for the Ts. So instead of peeking, he was hiding there, and I think a teammate was sort of in the pit position towards A. So they had like a really good like passive info setup, where you sort of rely in not having the information, but rely on the skill and the element of surprise. So there's lots of things to weigh up in these spots. We get triple AWP. I guess it's no auto sniper, but that'll do.
Alu again, out fast from the Palace, but Phelps is in position. Will it be 13 rounds for SK in the first half of Mirage? Maybe a very quick map indeed.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's very clear what's going on here. Clear for all to see. It's quite cool, actually. I spoke with Aldig quite a bit the other night, and it's really interesting getting some of his thoughts, because we don't always get the insight into the teams, but especially into how the feeling is in North, and how their prospects will be going forwards, and just the kind of team they are, and what he was thinking about the matches that they played at E-League. Well, we'll get back to that in a moment.
There were 3 AWPs in this round for SK.
Yeah.
Taco had the third one. Magic Boy would do well to land that shot if the angle was being held, but you never know. We've seen it happen on multiple occasions. Not necessarily with 140 to 160 ping, but ooh, a player spotted. But how much time does he have? The bomb is down towards the A site. He knows where one of the 2 players is. Popping out of the P250 just in case. Fallen almost peeking at the same time. And now we've got coldzera, who will surely hear this attempt. You can raise Ulam. Fallen still looking towards CT, but he's repositioning. And it will be cold with the flank to take round number 13 for SK. So not much really to say from what we've seen so far, because it's purely Optic trying to play for fast positioning and picks with a very high ping, because they're in Europe, and not quite, well, it's not quite working out for them.
Yeah, and as I said, I think it's pretty clear what's happening. But yeah, there's some cool situations regarding communication when talking with players at the LAN. Again, I'm conflicted here whether to go into these interesting stories, or I guess we'll see what happens in the pistol rounds before we get to that. Just the tease continues. Optic just sitting on the bomb side here. You can see it's quite weird and difficult for Mixwell here. Able to get a couple good connections though before being shut down. Actually, SK having some problems, but Phelps will start the swing back into SK's favor, into their hands perhaps, but the bomb being in the open like it is certainly causes issue. Phelps, last man here for SK. Doing what he can with that upgraded Glock. Ooh, trying to get cheeky.
Ooh, that was fortunate. Somebody going for a knife kill. The value play. I think he read that the T was running out of bullets, which may have been true, but he had enough left to shoot him in the face. So that could have been a very quick end to the match, had that not worked as it did for the CT side. But there we are. They get their third round on the board. Mag 7 out for Mixwell. They've gone for the big guns for the most part, the rifles. Not much in terms of utility here on the CT side.
The thing here too is that SK are in this position where they're like, you know what, I mean, they're probably going to play a pretty risky T side, generally speaking, and have some fun. Because this is a great match for them to have some fun in, just because they've got this massive buffer of rounds, and also a slight advantage as far as like the pings are concerned, right? So they can just sort of try to take. I mean, this is basically Fur's dream. Have like games like this sometimes. I mean, look at him go, James. Look at him go with that CZ of his.
Just waiting. He knows what they're going to do before they do. Just waiting for him to jump and shoot them in the jaw, in the dome, in the cranium, whichever you prefer. It's all a headshot. Speaking of which, HS is not done with this round. Neither is Fur. Full health. The FAMAS rotating towards Palace. Unfortunately for him, HS is towards CT, so his advance may not be heard. The players in Connect will be too far away as well. And now we slow things down, but there's only so much time on the clock here.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice from Fur. You can see that the play to, or the decision to go Palace paid off massively there. Another engagement, catches the head straight away, and the third headshot coming in from Fur for the ace. What a beast. I was about to say that, I mean, Fur is so good aggressively, like he's such a dynamic player, that and that's part of the reason why I said, you know, a match like this where he's going to have even more freedom to just play super dynamically is going to be really fun for him. And you can see exactly why, pulling an ace out of the bag there in a needed situation to stop Optic from perhaps even believing from believing that it's possible.
Two-man Palace push from the... Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Well, there's a highlight for Optic in what might not be the best game for them.
Deleted Phelps.
In the meantime, there's a two-man push from Optic, and they're in T-spawn, which will allow a better defense of the B-bomb site. However, they have to worry about connector, which is where Mixwell is with the MP9. So the one SMG is in one of the most important places. If Mixwell can hold this down, then maybe something can be done. But the CTs have revealed their position top mid, and that might give SK enough information to clean up this round. Taking down the players towards shot. Mixwell still alive, but he will finally get picked off. Freiberg down as well after killing a player earlier. HS on the flank with a MAC-10, not ideal. Gonna try and chase these T's before they get into position. Spots them towards default. If he kills the high health player first, then that's really interesting. Fallen with 15 HP, hiding around the bench. Where could he be? HS wonders. 5 bullets in the CZ. Oh my god. What a great burst from HS to shut that down and take a 4th round for Optic.
I think the CZs are really sick because, like in some of these situations, because of the fact that it's kind of like a rifle, obviously because it's automatic, but you know you have a pretty fast movement speed because it's a pistol, so you can get these like really wide peaks sometimes. Where if you're rifle versus rifle, you don't expect sometimes to see such wide peaks, but you're able to do it with that movement speed of the CZ, so you can get some pretty cheeky frags with it. And you can also get some really fast movement with it as a team. So, yeah, it's interesting to see how the inadvertent buff has affected it. And now it's time for a mid-take from Optic, just going really aggressive here against the Deagles. SK doing what Optic was doing, just picking up the Deagles, going for the picks. All right.
What is this, man? Why can't I do this, then? I used to be able to do it. I can't do it anymore. I just don't understand. I don't understand! And maybe Optic don't either, because Fallen continues to deliver. 1 Deags, and he's not the only guy, but maybe in this round he is. 3 versus 2 all of a sudden, but Fallen's got the bomb. However, the CTs don't realize that he's still here. But look at the angle Magic's boy is in. He's never expecting that. Great timing to take the bomb away, leaving Taco alone with the Deagle versus 2.
Cold's getting picked off, sort of forced Fallen's hand there to push. And now it's down to Taco, and after what we saw from Fur, it's hard not to believe in the man. They don't know where he is, but he doesn't know where they are either, which is a problem. He can probably presume that one is at top mid, but will he predict Freiberg being on chair? That's the difficult one. And here is it, the face. Good tag, but that's the frag for Magic's boy, and that will be the round for Optic. So another round here. Optic trying to slow this game down a little bit, and I mean they were going record pace. I think last season we had a game which was like 28 minutes or something, like I recall, or maybe even less, maybe in 20 minutes, something. I remember something ridiculous.
20 minutes is quite extreme. I'd be very surprised.
That is super extreme, yeah.
I would be very surprised.
It was sub 30 minutes, that's for sure, but that's not going to be broken here today. I would not imagine. So SK going for B.
Yep, the whole team is there. Mixwell alone. Using a flashbang to get into position. He moves forward and sees many an enemy, but can't quite hit the mark on any of them. Taking minimal damage though. Alu trying to avoid the flashbangs, but he will get hit by one. But the push is so slow from SK behind the flashes that Alu can see again. Freiberg's here now. 3 players on the B-bomb side, at least for the CT side.
That's an amazing pov to watch. He's just like flying the entire time, flailing his arms around, doing the windmill.
Unfortunately, SK did not get out of the window fast enough after the flashbang, and they were punished for it. They gave time for the CT rotation, they gave time for Alu to get his vision back after being fully flashed. And that's round number 6 for Optic. Let's put SK in a horrible spot. They're going to buy some pistols. Leave an average of $2,000. So we will see if they can do any one digs, but maybe Magisk won't wait for them. The trades go in favor of the CT side. Smokes down in connector. Fur with not a lot to do. This is absolute mayhem. Everyone's just free-flowing right now.
Pretty much. But yeah. It's definitely an interesting one to commentate, James. Don't think we can get too analytical here. All right, so I was going to mention this. Oh, okay, that's pretty nice. I feel like I keep wanting to go to a point that's outside of this game, but then we do see these sort of close rounds. I don't know. Conflicted, James. Well, looks like SK are going to make a go of this. Mixwell alone.
That's a huge plant because Cold Zero is rotating to the high ground of apartments. So the bomb is planted for him. And Cold Zero doesn't need to peek. He can sit in the kitchen because Taco can hear any bomb defusal attempts from the site, which is where he is at the moment. He's behind the smoke. So there's no need for Cold to engage. He is close to the window. Doesn't need to be. And I'm surprised I didn't kill him, but maybe the scope was too fast. Like if Mixwell has a grenade here, then who knows, but there we go. The setup is nice from SK. They dance around the columns. And of course, another deagle shot to finish things off. Why not?
I love sort of how visceral it is. Just when someone shoots someone in the face with a deagle. I mean, that's why it's satisfying, right? But it's beautiful. It is a smash point situation here for SK Gaming. Optic force buying it up, getting them M4s to going, and some limited utility. And double man apartment push. So let's see. Oh, rather underpass push. Looks like it's going to work out. Actually beating the timing of first pop flash. The pace here from both teams is just remarkable.
Speaking of which, look at Alu. Top mid, not waiting around. Cold Zero, does he hear the sound cue? He does. Turns around and rips Alu's face off. Maybe too eager. Deagle coming out, can fall and escape. He knows most of the bullets have gone. Fryberg goes to the flash. Phelps taken down in the meantime. That's the bomb in jungle.
What is going on? Why? Why, James? Why? Taco alone in a 1v2. Let's clean our minds of the previous things in this round. Taco looking to go for the clutch, looking to lock down Mirage for SK here. Map 1 today. I think this is day 4 of ECS Season 4. Taco, he's going for that that forward push, trying to make sure that he can get it down to 1v1 before he plants. He's got the time to do so. And if he's really smart here, well, I was going to say that he would actually eventually check for that, but we get the peek preemptively. Going for the pickup of the bomb now. Magisk, the last man standing, the vanguard of that bomb. Here he pushes, and that's good for Optic. They'll keep themselves in this one for a moment longer. But you can't help but wonder if it is not just an inevitability that SK, with such a lead, will be able to break Optic eventually. Especially with the level of risk-taking and freedom that they're having. It just takes that one round where Fer gets the ace, or where Falling gets those couple 1Ds, for everything to fall apart.
The 1 AK in the pistols for SK in this round. Optic pretty much half the score. In other news, Jordan Nothing Gilbert is indeed in the building. So he may be joining us for the second game. But first, let's finish the first. Oh, the CTs have been sold. The whole CT team is on A, and they're going B. It's 5v5. When do you see this? Lol, Optic are on the buy, and they've fully rotated to the A bomb site, and they've been sold a fake. There's the bomb for the high ground. They're going for the fake because they don't quite believe how good their fake was. But there we go.
My head hurts. I'm not sure if it's related to this or not. We have the retake coming in. It's obviously a very difficult bomb site to retake, especially when everyone's in position. The only thing really going for Optic is that the utility is not there anymore for SK, so the smokes will go away and they can get in, but that bomb is decided to tick pretty quick, actually. Oh, wow, they're getting stuck here from the CZs. Still more CZs, making it look like AKs. Cold Zero in the apartments there to lay down support and distraction, whilst his teammates start to lay into the remainder. That is no more. 16-7, SK Gaming.